The gods of Olympus have abandoned me.
Combining the legendary tales of our past with an enigmatic hero, visceral combat, and flawless cinematic animation, God of War emerges as a game destined to be as classic as the mythology upon which it's based.
When you first pick up the controller, you're instantly in the game, and it's very easy to understand how to play. But the more you explore and the more you start to learn the combat system, the deeper it becomes. It really rewards you for trying out different things, finding out what your style of how you want to finish the game or beat this particular enemy is.
To me, the system in God of War is much more organic. You can go into this like lightning bolt super move, and the guy's just getting rocked completely, and sort of chaining all those things together is something that hasn't come out in any games yet, but I think we really nailed it in God of War.
In their quest to create some truly dynamic animation, the creative team found themselves experimenting with all sorts of innovative techniques to create the game's landmark visuals.
That's the feeling we want to achieve, is that the controller kind of just melts away and you're just taking part in what's happening on screen.
We work with a very talented group of animators. You know, you can't just describe something in words, you know, when you're talking about the way some of these moves should work. So you definitely get up and you act stuff out, and I've had more than one embarrassing situation where I've been in the middle of a meeting and I'll get up and have to demonstrate, oh, he'll be like this, and I end up on the floor and I'm laying all prone on the ground. It gets very physical.
I'd say my favorite sections are some of the hero animations, especially the blades, the fluidity we were able to achieve with blending so many different moves. We're able to achieve that through some of the coding and then some of the animation kind of working together as cohesively as we can. In certain games, it doesn't seem like much attention has been paid to it, but in this game, we put a lot of attention into that.
With God of War's visuals this complex, it's imperative that all the animations be tested repeatedly to meet the expectations of not just the gamers, but the producers themselves.
We fine-tune the game to the nth degree. A single combat move will often be worked on for a whole day by the combat designers. A tremendous amount of attention to detail is required to really get the emphasis right and make sure that the player is experiencing what you wanted them to experience.
With gameplay this epic, the creative team worked especially hard in giving the game a grandiose feel that would appease the very gods upon which it is based.
So we spent a lot of time working on a really good camera system that allows very kind of cinematic camera shots. You know, you can have a traveling camera follow the character along a corridor, and it can do anything that you could do in film. To feel like it's raining, we spent a lot of time working out how to make a rain effect that was really convincing as a rain effect. You walk into a desert, we wanted to get a kind of a desert sandstorm feel.
In coming up with a way to match the game's legendary story with its visual style, two types of animation were fused together to immerse the player into the game.
Well, we've explored the idea of a new visual for what we call the cinematics, which is the in-game movies for this story. Images become 2D instead of the traditional 3D, but then they transition back to 3D and start moving around, and they transition back to 2D.
When you first see the camera just kind of zoom through these 2D plates, almost like you're moving through a photograph. Once the camera focuses on a character or a certain thing that's going on, that's when it just all of a sudden pops into 3D.
And the idea is that these are all memories of Kratos, they're all flashbacks, and it's told so it's instantly identifiable by the audience that things are hazy, it's clear, you can tell what's going on, but it's that dreamlike feel that we wanted to get across, that these memories are forced on him. He doesn't want to remember, but they're forced on him.
Just as the tales of ancient Greece have resonated throughout time, God of War concludes with an ending that's sure to have gamers talking through the ages and possibly paving the way for stories into the future.
Kratos, before you reach Athens, there is a task you must complete.
God of War is our attempt to really elevate the action-adventure genre to the next level. We wanted to bring combat, exploration, navigation, puzzle solving, all of sort of the classic elements of the genre, but we wanted to bring those to players in a fresh way, in a way that they haven't really seen before. If we're successful, which I think we will be, we'll get to tell stories about Kratos for a long time.
You will need the power of the gods. Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power and use it to defeat your enemies.
The gods sent me to destroy you.